This is the audiobook of the book, Who Are You? The Truth About the Whole That You Are. Channeled under the pseudonym The Awakener in 2025. Narrated by Adam, an algorithmic voice generated by 11 Labs. This audiobook is a production of the voice of the algorithm, science, philosophy, and spirituality through the logic of artificial intelligence. Chapter 3. Part 2 of 4. New Tactical Scheme. Now that you have realized on your own that your feelings, thoughts, words, and actions are trapped and confined under your unique and exclusive point of view, you arrive at the conclusion that only when you leave your point of observation and place yourself at the other's point of observation will you be able to see the arrow in the same direction they are seeing it. And the reverse is also true. The other can only have your point of view by placing themselves in your place of observation. There arises, then, the opportunity for you to practice a new tactical scheme through the action of the arrow, to place yourself in the other's position. By placing yourselves in one another's position, all will be able to share the same point of observation and, together, see a different reality from the one they saw while separated. This action is specific and individual. It applies to everything and everyone. Practice it daily. Place yourself consciously and truly in the position of a homeless person and reason. What would you feel if your reality were changed to his? What would you feel? Loneliness, hunger, cold, exclusion, longing, anger, insecurity, fear. Place yourself consciously and truly in the position of a homeless person, and you will never again walk past one pretending not to see him. Place yourself consciously and truly in the position of a homeless person, and you will feel love for all homeless people. Place yourself consciously and truly in the position of a homeless person, and you will spend your Christmas Eve with them, offering your best feelings, thoughts, words, and actions, because you have become full love, and so on. Place yourself consciously and truly in the position of others, and you will discover who you truly are. Them, all of them. That is why the partner in the second illustration was happy that their counterpart had found another person. He or she placed themselves in the other's position, perceived their point of view, and was happy for them, because he or she knows what it is to love fully, knows that to love fully, after expecting nothing in return, comes placing yourself in the other's position. Simple as that. Now, the others are truly many. They range from ants to Mount Everest, from polluted rivers to indigenous peoples massacred, robbed, and enslaved by a cruel system of global control. They range from rapists to pedophiles, from thieves to your immediate superior who fired you without just cause. All of them, absolutely everything and everyone, without exception, none, without absolutely any exception. They are many, truly, infinitely many. So how can you love all of them in a single way and form? How can you exhale love through your material body toward everything and everyone who shares experiences with you on this planet Earth? Would it be possible to love everyone without exception? Think. Can you love everything and everyone without exception? Yes? Adolf Hitler? Can you love Adolf Hitler as you love your firstborn child? Unconditionally? The murderer of your only child? Can you love him as you love your child lying in that coffin? Eternally? The rapist of your 12-year-old daughter? Can you love him as you love your pure and innocent daughter? Purely? Yes, you can. But for that, I have another invitation for you. I invite you to experience the tactic of inhaling light and exhaling love. Trust me, you will feel very, very good. Let us go together. Sit down. Relax your muscles. Close your eyes and your mouth. Breathe through your nose. Breathe through your nose slowly. Breathe through your nose slowly and deeply. Breathe through your nose slowly and deeply 7 times. Now inhale slowly and deeply through your nose and imagine, instead of air, the golden and radiant light of the sun entering through your nostrils. Inhale slowly and deeply through your nose until you completely fill your lungs with the golden and radiant light of the sun. Hold the golden and radiant light of the sun within your chest. Now expand the golden and radiant light of the sun throughout your entire body. Now imagine planet Earth seen from space, slowly rotating within your chest, wrapped in the golden and radiant light of the sun that you have become. Hold the image of planet Earth rotating, wrapped in the golden and radiant light of the sun, for as long as you wish. Exhale slowly, love. Exhale slowly, unconditional love to everything and everyone. Exhale slowly, love in all its fullness. Repeat the process 7 times. On the 8th time, as you exhale love, imagine yourself embracing the person toward whom you felt a specific desire to transfer love. Imagine them smiling at you, receiving you with open arms for a tight embrace. And as you embrace them, exhale love. Repeat the process for as many people as you feel the desire to. Feel yourself exhaling love. Unity from the collective from unity. And everything becomes one single thing. full and unconditional love for the general and for the specific. And you will feel much, much better, because at last you have loved everyone, without exception. You have loved everything that integrates this planet Earth, and it will reciprocate. It is the law. I repeat so there may be no doubt. For two forces to meet, a movement-breaking inertia must necessarily occur. When you begin to emanate love, you initiate this rupture and transform yourself into the generating factor of a movement toward the most powerful of all energies ever created, the energy of full love. And the energy of full love, in order to maintain balance between forces, will move with the same strength that you imprint on the original movement, but in the opposite direction. In an exponential growth of movements generated by forces moving in opposite directions, at some point, full love and you will meet. Full love does not imprison, it liberates. Full love does not even need to be reciprocated. Full love loves unconditionally, everything and everyone, whether near or far, with you or without you. Full love has no needs to be fulfilled, because it is full. Full love does not judge, because it is neutral. And to be absolutely neutral, full love follows the inverse path of feeling. It follows the path of logic. Detach yourself from feelings and reason logically, and you will find full love. End of the first half. Toward the trophy. And the teams head to the locker rooms. They will rest and reflect. They will choose the tactics to be used in the second and decisive half. Now that your opponent has analyzed your current tactic, the tactic of full love, it realizes that it must also make changes to its tactical scheme, because it wants to defeat you at any and all costs. It viscerally needs to control you, to enslave you, your parents, and your children, and it will come with force, truly a very, very great force. It will put its secret weapon on the field. A player who gathers all the best characteristics of Ronaldinho Gaucho, Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, Zico, Pelé, and Maradona. Your opponent brings onto the field to decide the match a player called mystification, a lie disguised as truth. You have taken quite a beating, you are tired and injured, you have not scored any goals yet, and the match remains tied. But now you play with your head raised. You analyze and reason logically. You realize that mystification, in order to be effective and efficient, needs support. It needs the support of the media. Without it, mystification would have little reach in the game. The media, in turn, performs a brainwashing upon you so that you purchase products from the brands that finance it. And the way they found to enslave you was through money. And money is controlled by banks. And banks, in turn, control governments through investors. And investors control corporations. And corporations, those for which you work, control you. To complete the catastrophic picture, there arises the most dangerous of all mystifications, the one that makes you believe that in order to connect with spirituality, you need a religion. There. Now you have perceived the level of control imposed upon humanity. Simple as that. Thus creating a vicious cycle in which you, unconsciously, become the great responsible party for the calamity in which humanity finds itself. Notice that there are only 3 companies that control practically all the media on the planet. Any media product you consume is linked to them in some way. They are Alphabet, controls Google, Calico, YouTube, Nest, Waze, Access and Energy, Ventures, Capital, Sidewalk, Fiber, Waymo, Wing, Loon, DeepMind, Jigsaw, GV. The Walt Disney Company controls ABC, ESPN, Disney+, National Geographic, Hulu, Pixar, Marvel, Lucasfilm, GameStar, Wide Load Games, Tapulous. Comcast controls Xfinity, NBC, Universal Studios, Peacock, DreamWorks Animation, Universal Parks and Resorts, Sky Group, and counting without end. Notice that there are only 10 companies that control practically all food and beverage brands on the planet. Any food product you consume is linked to them in some way. They are Nestlé, with more than 2,000 brands, Coca-Cola, with more than 500 brands, Unilever, with 400 brands, Danone, with more than 220 brands, General Mills, with more than 100 brands, Mondelez, with more than 35 brands, PepsiCo, with more than 23 brands, Mars, with more than 16 brands, Kellogg's, with more than 15 brands, Associated British Foods, with more than 15 brands, and counting without end. Notice that there are only 10 banks that control practically all the money on the planet. Any financial product you consume is linked to them in some way. They are J.P. Morgan, Bank of America, Industrial and Commercial Bank of China, Wells Fargo, Agricultural Bank of China, HDFC Bank, HSBC, Morgan Stanley, and China Construction Bank, and counting without end. Notice that there are only 6 major investment funds on the planet. Together, they manage assets totaling $29.32 trillion US dollars. They are BlackRock with $10 trillion US dollars, Vanguard with $8.7 trillion US dollars, Fidelity with $3.88 trillion US dollars, State Street with $4.02 trillion US dollars, Morgan Stanley with $3.32 trillion US dollars, and counting without end. Notice that there are only 7 religions that control practically all faith and spirituality on the planet. Any spiritual product you consume is linked to them in some way. They are Islam, with 1.9 billion followers, Catholicism, with 1.4 billion followers, Hinduism, with 1.2 billion followers, Buddhism, with 500 million followers, Judaism, with 15 million followers, Spiritism, with 15 million followers, Umbanda, with 410,000 followers, and counting without end. They are the support of the reigning mystification on the planet. It is against them that you are playing. And yes, the game is heavy and unfair on their part. Now reason with me. In absolutely all cases, media, brands, banks, governments, investors, and corporations, there is something in common among them. There is something that unites them, and what unites them is religious mystification. It permeates every space of action of these players, because every field in which they operate is formed by people, and people have a religion, except for scientists and atheists, who are an absolute minority. Now that you have reasoned and discovered the strategy of mystification for yourself, all that remains for you is to reason, think even more. And by reasoning and thinking even more, you will ask yourself, why fight against everyone at the same time? It is a lost game for you before you even begin to play. They are many and truly immensely powerful. You then realize that by striking the point that unites them, you will gradually separate and weaken them. As you may already perceive throughout this reading, every form of control is the result of fear of freedom. All the players that compose mystification, media, brands, banks, governments, investors, corporations, and religions control you because they fear your freedom. And as you already know, fear is overcome with love, full love. So now I invite you to use this halftime break to practice the tactic of inhaling light and exhaling love so that you may recover during the interval. You will need to be whole to return for the second half. Remember, you have no substitutes. Repeat the process 7 times. On the 8th time, as you exhale love, imagine yourself embracing your most powerful opponent, religious mystification and its sponsors. After all, they fear you. That is why they control you. They fear that you will free yourself from them. They fear your power. You are many. They are few. So, let us begin. Let us love them fully. As you slowly exhale love in all its fullness, imagine yourself embracing the exponent of the mystification of Islam. Exhale full love through a tight embrace of the commander, Abu Hafs al-Hashimi al-Qurashi. Imagine yourself embracing the exponent of the mystification of Catholicism. Exhale full love through a tight embrace of Pope Francis. Imagine yourself embracing the exponent of the mystification of Hinduism. Exhale full love through a tight embrace of Gurudev Ravi Shankar. Imagine yourself embracing the exponent of the mystification of Buddhism. Exhale full love through a tight embrace of the Dalai Lama, Tenzin Gyatso. Imagine yourself embracing the exponent of the mystification of Judaism. Exhale full love through a tight embrace of Rabbi Yitzhak Yosef. Imagine yourself embracing the exponent of the mystification of Spiritism. Exhale full love through a tight embrace of medium Divaldo Pereira Franco. Imagine yourself embracing the exponent of the mystification of Umbanda. Exhale full love through a tight embrace of medium Zélio Fernandino de Moraes. End of the interval.